Hey everybody, Shep here. Today is February 7th and we're going to be making the first batch of maple syrup today. We're going to start boiling down this sap. Right now I have 5 gallons and about a quart of sap here. You can see the sap, if you've never made maple syrup before, the sap is absolutely colorless, looks just like water. You wouldn't really know the difference. Later in the season it can get a yellow tint to it, which at that point it's time to stop making syrup with it. But the last couple days it's been really good for sap flow, and I've a couple of the trees that I tapped never really had much, so I switched them out with other trees and tapped a few others. Right now I have 4 trees tapped, and today alone, it's just a little after noon, and today alone and from last night I've collected over 3 gallons of sap on my 4 trees. So sap's flowing really good, and we're going to be boiling it down today. This right here should make close to a 1 pint of finished maple syrup. But while I'm doing that, while I'm boiling this down, I'll go ahead and collect the rest of what's flowing today. So we may be adding some to it. But this should take, in my setup, hopefully not more than a couple hours to boil down. My setup should boil just a little over 3 gallons an hour. So hopefully that's kind of what we're looking at. I've ran out of milk jugs, so I'm starting to have to get creative with containers to hold it. So I've had this refrigerated just to keep it from spoiling and keep longer. But right now I'm going to start boiling it here in a couple hours, and I've set it out so it can kind of start to warm up and not be, refrigerator temperature. So next I'll put in a clip. I made some video to show what the sap flow is like, since when I tapped the trees there wasn't any sap flowing. So we'll see you here in a minute. So I collected this morning, and it's already almost got a half a gallon. It's really flowing good today. So I'll show you what kind of you can see how it's dripping. So kind of bubbled there, but it's running pretty good today. That's pretty doggone good. So I just wanted to show that off. I switched to an empty jug, and I don't know if that camera will pick it up, but see if you can hear it dripping into it. So yeah, sap's flowing good today. Okay, well, I got the fire started. Had a little bit of trouble getting it to take off, but the pans are starting to get hot. I don't know if you can see the steam on it, but got the smoke coming out, so we're up and running. Alright, so we got a good boil going now. Finally got the fire going decent. I'm gonna have to put some more wood in there. You can see she's really steaming. So I've put 2 gallons in it so far. I'm kind of putting it in this first pan here because it's not as hot. So I'm putting it in there to kind of warm it up, and then I'm working it back. So as we boil it down, this back here will start getting darker. So we'll bring you back in a bit. Well, we've been boiling for a while now. You can see these are starting to get more brown colored. So got some pieces of dirt and stuff in there I'm not crazy about, but it is what it is. It's what you run into doing it this way. Well, I'm down to 2 pans now. I've just got water in the back pan. So the fire is burning a lot hotter up toward the front, so I started moving it this way instead. It was easier to control the fire. So we're getting it down. It's either 6 or 7 gallons. I'll have to look and see how much I did, but I'll check back in a bit. Well, it's a few days later, and I want to apologize for not getting more footage. When I was boiling it down, my dad and my daughter were helping me, and we were having a lot of fun, and I didn't get a whole lot of video of it boiling down, but I think you can kind of get the idea of how it works. Once I got it boiled down to about probably, between a quart and a half gallon, I put it in just a pan and brought it in the house and filtered all the kitty cat wants some, filtered all of the ash and stuff out of it, and then I cat's distracting. After I did that, then I finished boiling it down, and I used this thing called a refractometer. So basically, to be considered maple syrup, the sugar content has to be like between 66 and 68%, with the ideal being 66.9. So that little refractometer has a scale in it, and you put a couple drops of the syrup as it's boiling down. Put a couple drops of that on it, and it shows you the sugar percentage. At least mine does. They have different ones with different scales, but mine shows the sugar percentage. So boiled that down, and this was the finished product. So this, I ended up boiling down, I had just over 5 gallons that we saw at the beginning of the video, and then while I was doing it, I gathered another gallon and from the trees and boiled that down fresh. So I boiled down just over 6 gallons, and this is what I came up with. These are 8-ounce jars, so just a little bit over 1.5. And you can see it's got some sediment down there at the bottom. That's called sugar sand, and that's just that's part of the process. Next year, I want to get a better filtering system, but I'm real happy with how it turned out. The last time I made it, I didn't have the refractometer, so it probably was like way too watery, whereas now I know what it's supposed to be. So I'm excited about that. And the thing that I just think is so cool about maple syrup is the fact that there are no ingredients to it. Like, all that it is the maple sap. You just keep boiling it down until you get to this certain, desired sugar content, and voila, you got, maple syrup. So I've always thought that that's really cool, like just the fact that there's nothing in it other than maple sap. So I hope you enjoyed this video. This was kind of just, showing, it wasn't really a how-to video, but just showing me boiling down my first batch of maple sap. Depending on whether I'll probably do it again next week, we might get some more video of that. If there's anything in particular you all would like to see or have me talk about it, just let me know. But other than that, I appreciate the views. I appreciate the new subscribers. So I'll talk to you guys later.